It's Wednesday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Murayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies with me. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Obiajulu. How you doing? It's your birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
You look gorgeous, by
Yes.
the
Thank you. Thank you.
So, what are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm grateful to God for life. I'm grateful to God for everything. And I was looking back at my life and I'm like, okay, you're doing great. You are here. You are where you have prayed to be for the longest of time. And even when I got there, I didn't realize I had gotten there yet. You know, I'm just so grateful for everything. The love, from family was amazing. My Odogu.
Tell us what happened today.
I won't give the full gist, but I told him, I said, God used it to compensate my hard life growing up. You are just a compensation because there's no way I can explain, how you do me the way you do me. There's no, I can't explain. People won't understand it. Words cannot express it. And if you try to explain it, to seem like, till you come close and you will see. He's just been, and then my kids are super amazing. My daughter, I'm sure, will be crafting. She's not going to school today. Crafting cards for me, writing love letters. She's Miriam's baby. She knows how to write all those sweet things. She had asked me yesterday what I wanted for my birthday. I said, just write one of those your lovely letters. But this year, I decided not to celebrate myself so that I would chop other people's money. People should celebrate me and send their gifts. If not, I'm just going home after the show to go and lie down my bed and be posting pictures. I've done photo shoots for you to enjoy the pictures.
That's right.
I did my, Nima?
Happy birthday, BC.
Thank you.
Nima, I was humbled yesterday. So my sincere apologies to the Deputy Governor of Lagos State, Dr. Obafemi Hamzat Kadri, and his family for for the time and money spent preparing to host iftar with Nima yesterday, and because of miscommunications, we didn't know. We thought it was today. So all effort was put in for today, but it was yesterday, and I saw the pictures. I felt humbled. I've not been able to speak my bubbly self since then. I'm sincerely apologetic, sir. I'm very, very sorry, madam. I don't know what to say. I just know.
I felt really bad too. When I got the news last night, I spoke to him. He said he flew down to Lagos specifically for that recording. So he had to go back to Abuja. But at least he apologized and he has accepted the apology. So hopefully we can get it rescheduled. I'm happy that, the show is going on and it's getting good reception.
Yes, it is.
Hello, Mariam.
Hi.
You look gorgeous, by the way. What's happening? You can't be just going home. There's got to be somewhere you're going.
It's Bc's birthday.
Oh, yeah.
The glow is...
Because
I actually got a couple of happy birthday. So I say it's not me.
It's
Happy birthday,
Assistant birthday.
So, as usual, BC, every year it's her birthday, I post a picture and every year I get, why did you post that picture of me? Like, there's never pleasing this woman. So I'm happy now she's giving us pictures. I use every picture, any picture she puts, that's the one I'm going to use. And I don't want to holler, but just to wish you a happy birthday. Well done, sis. I'm happy for you and I'm wishing you many, 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 many happy returns.
Thank you.
Happy birthday. You see, today is your day, so we're all just celebrating you. And you're the first birthday of ladies of your
I'm telling you.
this year. So you always set the tone every year. You're the first one to celebrate. So you set the tone. And so it's based on what we do today that we're not determining how we celebrate each other.
No, that's not it. That's the standard, then everyone goes higher. That's how it's done. You do better than the... That's what first bounds go through.
We'll do Mr. Biggs with you.
The second one will be higher.
I'm just joking. Let's go on a short break now. When we come back, we go through the front pages, up the paper. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're going to start with the nation. Governor, my state epicenter of kidnapping and banditry. All set for LP convention. Lagos to experience above normal rainfall. Security agencies begin probe of $24 billion unverified Forex payment. Interest rate rises to 24.75%. PDP to review party leadership in wards, councils in 26 states. Adams, Igboho face-off deepens despite Oni's peace move. Nakon in talks with Saudi authorities over Hajj visa shortage. Okay?
So the major headline is the governor of Zamfara State, and he's crying out, about the state of insecurity in his state. He says that if the situation is not reversed, kidnapping and banditry will not end in the north. He's crying out to the president, although he mentions that there have been lots of talk, with him and the federal government, but he's happy with the way things are going so far, but there's lots of things that needs to be done at the federal level. He says, as you know, the state governors are not, do not have the authority or are not in charge of the police or the military, and, that limits their power sometimes, and so he would like for, the federal government to look into that, to give them more power, but he's also saying, so what they are doing, at state level, like many other states, that are trying to put the, different states have like different security outfits that they have. And so he says they have put in they've launched what they call the Community Protection Guard, CPG. They are well trained and they will work either with military or police. So they're going to work collaboratively with with the police or military. But, he says that, but given the way things are going right now, his state has become the epicenter of this banditry and kidnapping. People will do their kidnappings from different states and then come and hide them in Zamfara State. And he's hoping that, this can be resolved quickly. But we also have a president who hosted judicial officers at the iftar, and then he was talking about the fact that kidnappers, when they have been finally arrested, should be treated as terrorists, and he talked about the judiciary, understanding their challenges and the need for modernization, especially when it comes to record keeping and their equipment. And he also talked about, improving their remuneration.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Olayemi Cardoso, had said that security agencies, including the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, are currently investigating questionable foreign exchange allocations and forward contracts previously estimated at $2.4 billion. They said the development followed the conclusion of the audit of the $7 billion debts inherited by the Cardoso-led CBN from the previous administration of the Apex Bank. Now, the new administration of the Apex Bank had engaged a global firm, Deloitte, to carry out an audit of the $7 billion debts. Cardoso earlier said that about $2.4 billion Forex allocations from the $7 billion backlog were invalid, and that's one of the reasons some people are still saying that they have not received their own payments. And so he went on to say that, after the 294th meeting of the Monetary Policy Committee in Abuja, which happened yesterday, he said that security agencies were now investigating the FX transactions that have been declared invalid by the audit report. Some airlines have said that they've not paid their money complete, and they said they have to provide necessary documents which would help the investigation. So they are focused on unraveling issues around foreign exchange transactions that did not meet the standards of the regulatory agency. So most of the payments they made at the time did not meet those standards. So they are trying to clear them out.
Okay, so the Commissioner for Environment and Water Environment, the nations, Tokunbo Wahab, was speaking at a news conference to announce the seasonal climate predictions for this year. And he not only announced them, he also compared the socio-economic implications that it poses for Lagos State. So he says Lagos State will experience above normal rainfall this year with about 1,936.2 millimeters volume of water expected. He also divided how it will affect Ikeja, Ikorodu, every area. He says the rains are expected from April 4th and it will last till December 4th of 2024, with the 2024 predictions being 1,936.2 millimeters greater than the long-term average of 1,721.48 millimeters that was in the previous year. And the rains are expected to start for the first week of April to December. He also said that the below normal rainfall is anticipated in the first half of the rainy season, while normal and to above normal is expected in the second half. He said that the state has made preparations along, this. He gave in total details of what they have done. He also noted that they work with the Ogun State government and other government on the Ogun River Basin Authority, while monitoring the rainfalls in the neighboring areas of Ogun, Oyo, Osun. He said that the flood early warning systems has been strengthened to deliver reliable, timely, and effective flood information, adding that the low-lying Agility, Agboyi, Itowolo, and Ajegule communities will be closely monitored, which are likely to be affected by the Ogun River flooding. Okay. I hope that this information helps us to plan. I always say that, it's always important to clear your drainages as well in your neighborhood.
All right, so the rift between the Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò of Yoruba land, Gani Adams, and Yoruba Nation activist Chief Sunday Igboho has deepened despite the peace deal brokered by the prominent traditional rulers, especially the Oni of Ife. They have refused to sheath their swords, so both of them have been going back and forth, demanding that both should declare a public apology or continue with the legal actions against each other. The two leaders have been at loggerheads following an alleged leaked telephone conversation. According to a letter by Igboho's lawyer, he says that they demand an immediate retraction of what he described as scandalous, malicious, and defamatory statement made against him. And Gani Adams, on the other hand, has warned that his silence should not be taken as cowardice on the alleged defamation of character. He said the allegations were deliberate efforts by some individuals to drag his name in the mud. It's quite worrisome that a whole Oni of Ife can wade into something like this and still they refuse to answer.
No, but this is a defamation.
Yeah, but
so the Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò,
Oni of Ife wades into something, there should be some kind of, everybody should at least sheath their swords in the least. It goes back to the how do we perceive.
In defamation matters, it's either true or it's not.
Yeah, but
it's either true or it's not. So higher authority, it's either true or it's not. If your name is affected, you'd want to do. So the other party is Tayo Ayinde, who is the chief of staff to the governor of Lagos State. It's either true or it's not. It goes to some source, to the root of a bigger issue for some people.
I'm not worried about the issue. I'm worried about the reverence for that.
Yes, for traditional rulers.
The reverence. We don't have it anymore. Imagine it was the former Oni that wades into, or Obashiju. There are some Obas that when they come into a situation, everybody calm down.
Depends on the approach.
So you shoot yourself first, and then you don't.
It depends on the approach.
It speaks volumes to how we perceive our Obas. It's really painful. Moving on to the Punch. CBN, EFCC probe banks, firms over alleged Forex racketeering. Mom orders hailed death sentence on Chinese for killing lover. Slain soldiers for burial today, military demands killers capture. Assassination allegation, my voice note distorted, says Gani Adams. 6 missing, 2 rescued as U.S. cargo ship destroys Baltimore bridge. NCC insists on SIM, NIN deadline, telcos bar lines Friday. And Tinubu to vet foreign affairs ministries ambassadorial list. Okay, which story?
Yeah, the human interest. Okay, can we take
right, yes,
okay, so Hajia Fatima Zuberi, who is the mother of Kulsum Buhari, she was the lady that was killed by her Chinese boyfriend, Frank Geng Kwarong, and he's been sentenced to die by hanging. He was convicted of 1 count of culpable homicide. The mother expressed her, she says, her satisfaction. She says for her, justice has been served. Of course, she's heartbroken that her daughter has died, but at least she has that. This report also highlighted some tweets by people, and many people were happy about it. It says it will serve as a deterrent, especially to foreigners thinking that they can come into Nigeria and commit some crimes and get away. And then some people were also saying that he should be kept safe, guarded properly, because we had the issue of the Binance person that escaped. So we don't want to hear any stories. But
let me go on a short break and we'll come back to continue with our review. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have Made Kuti in the view. It's still 7 of 7, and we've been doing a whole lot of protesting. The only thing that remains is just to carry placard.
It's about 5 of 7, to be honest, because ask your question. I have so much to speak about once we finish.
We will not give you the time because it's 7 of 7.
I will make the time now. He said he will not ask questions about science.
No.
Neuroplasticity.
And based on
He asked a question that was subjective about high life, and he did not finalize his answer about a Kuti question where there are only 3 of us
editor, scratch this part
that could
out.
have possibly composed the music.
Editor, scratch this part out.
Stupidity is an act of ignorance.
Hey God, Made.
Was composed by which Kuti?
Femi Kuti.
Is that your final answer?
God, I'm Seun Kuti. No, wait, Femi Kuti.
You said
Femi
Seun
Kuti. Wait.
You can't be allowed.
No, you've not asked me anything.
Everyone.
You've not asked me anything. So my final answer.
No. All I have to say is this show is really about drinking.
Yeah, that's the whole idea.
The questions don't matter.
That's the whole
Justice
idea.
is out the window.
We throw caution to
We
the
have
wind
no
right
morals here.
on the 7 of 7.
So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather. Well, here goes. Imagine what it takes to put together the perfect cocktail. Or maybe mocktail. We need a bit of sports, a sprinkling of current affairs, some very deep topical issues, and last but not the least, a healthy dose of grumbling of those we love to hate. And yes, you guessed it, women.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing points. Let me take the picture story. So, a container ship lost power and rammed into a major bridge in Baltimore yesterday and Tuesday, causing it to snap and plunge into the river below. Several vehicles fell into the chilly waters, and rescuers are still searching for survivors. The rescue team, because the ship's crew were able to call in a mayday and caused lots of security operatives to stop cars from climbing into that bridge. However, there were some workers who were actually filling up potholes on the bridge, and 6 of them have been declared missing, and they're presumed dead because obviously the water is quite deep. But this happened, the crash took down the Francis Scott Key Bridge, enabling authorities to limit vehicles on the span on the Maryland on that bridge. So it happened at night, so there wasn't a lot of traffic, there wasn't a lot of commutes going on at that time. However, cars were able to be stopped at least before climbing onto that bridge. I mean, that was good. Some people said there were some cars on the water floating, but we don't know if there were people in there. But 6 people have been confirmed missing and presumed dead. Really, really sad. The ship lost power. Yeah, I saw the video. Looked like Godzilla crashing into almost like a Godzilla type of situation. Really, really, I don't even know how to describe it.
I thought Oyibo people are far advanced, that they will have something
still
that will
like
pom.
Yeah, something, right?
Yeah, still talking about deaths. We know the 17 military personnel that were killed by Arid youths during a communal clash in Okoma, Delta State community. They are said to be buried today. They'll be burying them today at the National Cemetery in Abuja. And this statement was posted on Nigerian's Army X's handle yesterday. And they are saying that the burial will be held by 3 p.m. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is also supposed to be one of the special guests for this burial. So
Really sad. May their souls rest in peace. Really sad indeed. Okay, moving on quickly now to Daily Sun. 2023 elections, PDP to sanction members who worked against victory. Governor Mbaz signs bill to establish teaching hospital in Enugu North. Banditry, Zamfara under siege. Governor Lawal cries out. Oil theft delays full takeoff of Dangote Refinery. Ineligible Forex backlogs stand at $2.4 billion, says CBN. Nigeria-UK strengthen collaboration on migration and anti-corruption. And court sentences Chinese to death by hanging for killing Nigerian girlfriend. Okay, which story?
Okay, let me take the British story. So, according to the Senior Communications Officer of the British High Commission, Atinuke Akonde-Alegbe, said that at the just concluded annual Migration, Justice and Home Affairs Dialogue, the British government have concluded to partner the Nigerian government to prevent vulnerable young people from being engaged in criminality, interception, disruption, organized crime groups, trafficking people, and illicit commodities. So these two governments or two countries are willing to work together to reduce or even totally wipe out the possibility of human trafficking and abuse of vulnerable people trying to go to Europe for sports activities, as I know. And she added that both countries also recognize the need to improve engagement and information sharing between their respective governments and high commissions. We know with the case of Mekwere Madu in view, we know that the British government are very strict on things like this, and I'm hoping that they can really, really help. So we have I have the experience of young footballers who try to go to Europe to play football, but they end up in Libya and their families are extorted, and some lose their organs, and never really make it back home whole. So I hope that this kind of synergy would be done between countries to reduce it to the barest minimum or even wipe it out.
Okay. Yeah, I have the Dangote Refinery story. So the report says there are strong indications that came out yesterday that the hopes of a full takeoff of the 650,000 barrels per day Dangote Refinery may have run into murky waters over low supply of its major feedstock crude oil for its day-to-day operations. So in simple English, it's not getting enough supply of crude oil to run. They say that there's a minimum amount that it needs to run. At the point we're at now, we are not getting that minimum amount. They get only enough to refine for diesel, and even the diesel that they do is not enough to, for their trucks. Yeah. And the problem is, so two things. They said one is that, as we know, NNPC has a stake in the refinery and is obligated to supply the crude oil. But it seems that they're unable to do so. And one of the reasons they're unable to do so is that they had secured a $3 billion loan, and in repayment, they had an agreement where they had pledged over 164 million barrels of crude oil to repay the loan through Project Gazelle. So, of course, that's reduced the amount that we can use here at the refinery. Then there's also the problem of crude oil theft, which has become a major setback. Anyway, they said all this and more has caused, disappointment, especially, they said, not just for Nigeria, but for many West African countries that have been looking forward to the takeoff of this refinery, because it would have cut them a lot of costs, to get refined crude oil from Nigeria instead of having to pay, to get all the way from Europe. So that's where we're at now. We'll see if they're able to sort this out, if for some reason NNPC will be able to readjust and get more supplies.
Yeah, so the governor of Enugu State, Dr. Peter Mba, has signed the Enugu State University of Medical and Applied Sciences, SUMA's Teaching Hospital Bill 2024 into law, promising to expedite action to actualize the teaching hospital immediately so that it can provide quality training and healthcare services in Enugu North in particular and the state in general. So he was commending the Enugu State House of Assembly for accelerating action on the process and passage of the executive bill. And he said establishing SUMA's teaching hospital was also in line with his manifesto, and I quote, he said, what we've done by signing into law the Enugu State University of Medical and Applied Sciences Teaching Hospital is that we now have in place a legal framework to immediately begin to put in place all that is required to upgrade SUMA's to a teaching hospital. This is part of our campaign promises, and we are committed to delivering on that. They also talked about the importance of having a teaching hospital in the state, and among other things they are doing, they're also planning to spend about 33% on budget on education alone, understanding the needs to ramp up the education sector in the state.
All right, so the CBN governor, Mr. Cardoso, has been saying that he disclosed that they revealed that they're still going to be clearing the invalid foreign exchange backlogs. According to him, there's about $2.4 billion worth of invalid foreign exchange backlogs, and there's going to be an investigation to be sure if they are actually legitimate. So, according to him, he said, despite the clearing of the valid foreign exchange backlogs, there has been a growing number of ineligible Forex requests, which stands at 2.4 billion so far. And according to them, investigations were ongoing by law enforcement agencies to see how legitimate these 2.4 billion dollars. Because I remember I took a story yesterday. People were saying that why they did not clear some of their own requests. That on what basis, what metrics are you using to say that our requests are invalid? Let us know how you determined the result of the fact that ours is invalid. So hopefully they can clear that up very soon. Vanguard, our final paper for this morning. Okwama, how government security bodies fail to rein in military leader. It was a Vanguard special investigation. Mambila firm vows to deliver over 3,000 megawatts hydropower project. Binance collaboration with SEC, EFCC, NSA, fruitful state CBN governor. Umehia was never governor of Rivers and court rules. NSC president chairs Vanguard IWD as Okotete. Others attend. Okay, which story?
I have the Mambila story. So in a statement released by the Sunrise Power Transmission Company, company's chairman, Mr. Leno Adesonya, he says he's committed to the project and that this is his lifelong dream and that he's been at it for over 2 decades and the last thing is to give up now. He was addressing that, no amount of blackmail or harassment will deter him from seeing this noble dream come through. He says the Mambila Power Project is, built to capacity. It can generate 3,050 megawatts of hydroelectric power project, and that's why he went into that project. Even though he did not plan to be in court, he's in court right now. He says this renewable source of power has become more popular globally, and it's something Nigeria needs more. And that, it's decentralization of our national grid is also a prerequisite that to our national security. He says all the complimentary reports about him in the media, but it's not something we should worry about. That he believes that with time, facts will prevail over fiction and truism over fallacy. He said till date, no penny has been paid by the federal government to his company, but they're in court and is hopeful that he would win.
Okay, this was a special Vanguard investigation that says that if government and the security agencies had taken concerted actions on the several petitions against an alleged military leader and crude oil thief who banished a monarch from the kingdom in Bayelsa State years ago, there's a possibility that they could have averted the March 14th killing of 17 military personnel at the Okwama in Delta State. And this was based on the special investigation by Vanguard. It's a really interesting article saying that there were actually concerted efforts by the community to get agencies and security authorities to weigh in on a specific military leader. That was never done, and he was probably the one that led to the killing of this 17 gallant soldiers. All right, that's all we can take on Front Page Review. When we come back, continue the show. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right.
So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather. Well, here goes. Imagine what it takes to put together the perfect cocktail. Or maybe mocktail. We need a bit of sports, a sprinkling of current affairs, some very deep topical issues, and last but not the least, a healthy dose of grumbling of those we love to hate. And yes, you guessed it, women. So, if you catch the drift, then you're onto something. We will provide you with the right insights into most of your curiosities right here within this beautiful cocktail we call the Black Table.
TVC Communications, Nigeria's leading independent broadcast company, has been officially designated as a great place to work. Over the past few years, we have transformed our workplace into one which is respectful, caring, rewarding, and provides great benefits to all our 500 employees. We thank our team for giving us the chance to show that partnership between employer and employee really works. TVC Communications, officially designated as a great place to work, and now the only broadcasting and media company not just in Nigeria but throughout continental Africa to be fully certified. TVC Communications, a great Nigerian company, a great Nigerian place to work.
Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome pioneer Positive Force member, dancing queen of the 80s, non-conformist, Afrobeat historian in her right, and long-standing member of the multiple award-winning all-female show Your View, Omua Yeni Anikulapo Kuti, aka YK Power! Ginger!
Take it.
Today we'll go here.
Hey, I didn't read you.
Are you sure?
Ha. I'm not here to answer questions, I'm here to drink.
We're in trouble today.
Wait till your age.
I was close now.
I
said 1975.
He said 73. He said 75. Fellas wasn't even born in 75.
So will I drink half?
You go drink. Take. Make I help you. Russian.
No be half.
Which half? You will make me drink. I'll give you a hint.
Lights in no. Nepa Road. Nepa Road in Abeokuta.
First of all, my brain cannot memorize everything.
A big black bug.
A big black dog.
Bug. A big black bug.
Oh, sorry. A big.
It don't start.
Ọmọ ọmọ fẹlá. Ọmọ Anikulapo Kuti. Wọ́n rò pé kí ni kékeré yìí.
It's by Audison. It's not by Audison.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw ether material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
Ikechukwu Sunday Okonkwo, aka Cross. Now your intro without
Wow.
So there's a name that thing that's.
I'm just drinking because you say I should drink. There's no particular answer. Okay.
Thanks for staying with us. So our hot topic today is on body shaming. And the reason why this had become a topic for us to have a conversation on is because recently a celebrity, an actress actually, went online, talked about how another actress many years ago had body shamed her into bleaching her skin. And that's what caused her, I mean, obviously she was said, they said some really, really bad, demeaning words to her that caused her to feel there was a need for her to bleach her skin. And then this situation reminded us of the situation where many people feel body shamed into doing something horrible to themselves. Either because you're plus size, you're body shamed, and then you have to go and take drugs to force yourself to lose weight. It affects people's self-esteem. But we're having a conversation about it because there's social media now. Many of us were body shamed somehow in our life. Either somebody told you you're too tall, you're too skinny, you're too fat. But there was no social media to vent. And now, so it's been taken to a different context where there's social media to report to those who are body shaming. So what are your thoughts on this whole craziness? There's an issue of body shaming, and there's another issue of announcing it and then making the person feel like, trying to find the right word. But the idea really is that right now people are calling out everybody who has ever body shamed them. Is it right? That's what the conversation. You can call us on 081 0764 16479, 090 241 You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag Yourviewtvc so we can read your tweets. So body shaming is one thing. Reporting the shamer, whoever is shaming you, is a whole different another game, because we've all been through this, and it goes back to the issue of how vulnerable we are, or how vindictive some of us are, because we always try to bring back stuff that people just take it as, it's part of growing up. People will yab you, they will insult you. It's part of that makes you more resilient in life to face hard things. What are your thoughts? Let me come to you. Mariam, want to start?
Okay. Body shaming. Until maybe like a few years ago, we saw it as part of being, especially in our culture, like it was part of growing up. We used to call it yabis. If you have big ears or tiny ears, someone will call you out on it. If you had, big feet, though, if you're tall, especially, that one I got a lot of. I got not just family members, friends and colleagues, people that loved you and didn't love you will call you out on, the features of your body. And then people said it, and then we moved on. We did not think it had anything. The shamer didn't think it meant anything. But the shamed, will carry it for a very long time. And I can understand this particular story of the lady who said, because of the yabs, she bleached. So it tells different stories, different layers. So it shows that our words, whether we like it or not, they mean something. Yes, sometimes we say these things without any evil intention, but when it finally drops, you don't know how it will drop on the person, that picks it up. Now, secondly, for the person that picks it up, you can decide, there are two things you can decide. You can decide for that shame to make or mar you. You can decide, what, I'm not going to allow their words put me down. I'm not going to allow their words change who I am, the core of me. But the sad thing really is that for many of us, is either we're too young, really immature, we had not really come to our own maturity to have the strength to resist some things, to just put it aside. And so we allow that thing to affect us. There was a time I would be walking hunchback and my mom would hit me on my back. It was because I was constantly told I was too tall. Not, oh, you're tall or you're very tall. No, you're too tall. So I thought, then how do I make myself smaller so that I'm not seen as too tall? I'll go to bed and I'll sleep like this and I'll pray to God, please, God, please just make me a bit shorter today. Oh, wow. And I'll wake up and I'll find that I'm even taller than before. And that affected me. But there are some people. Then I met my friend Louisa, who was far taller than I am, who is far taller than I am. And she was like, what? They are jealous of you. How many of them can start, She says, when we walk, she will tell me, like, look at us walking down the street. Do you see how everyone is looking at us? Those ones, they see it. That's why they're saying, but that was her own way of handling it. And it helped me. So it depends on who you meet at the time of their lives that you meet. But sometimes this shame, I understand it from cultural point of view, that is normally not done, usually not done from a place of hate. But that does not mean that it doesn't happen from a place of hate. And you know, you said the second part, which is...
Come back to the second part. Let me the initial thoughts.
Okay, before she finishes the show.
Right.
Yeah, so if we had to call out all the people that body shamed us, I'll call out my whole village, including my parents and my friends, so-called friends, because sometimes, you know, we tease each other with some of these things, but we really do not know how deep it goes into the people who are receiving it, especially if we hit the point of their insecurity. Every one of us has their insecurities on different parts of their body. From where you've come, maybe you look around, your leg is different from everybody's leg, your stomach is different, your eyes, one is up, one is down. You know, you already have that insecurity. And, you know, when people now tease you and it hits directly at that insecurity, if you're not strong enough, you may want to do something to change that. Because now it becomes an emotional pain. It's not just... We are laughing and playing about it, but then you have hit someone at where the person has been, you know, trying to even convince themselves that this is okay. Can I manage this? Can I go through life with this? And then you are constantly poking at the wound there. It takes the grace of God for you to still remain, and you don't do something about that situation, about that, you know, part of your insecurity. We're hit, like she just mentioned now, I was tall, you know. I'll come into the class, I'm mostly like the tallest person in my class. I'm probably one of the youngest. And then I was tiny, clothes never fit me. My cousins were plump. You know, they wear clothes, skirts, uniforms. They would look rounded and good. I would look like breeze is blowing me. I was called different. In fact, the name that stuck the most was I. Anybody who went to AGGS, 1999 set, will remember me. I was called I, you know. And then they said my neck is too long, ostrich and all of that. It didn't even faze me as such because I now grew up to fend off everything. Like when you come for me, I come for you. I'll find my own words too to give you back and all of that. But when we now started modeling, we have left the issue of I now into modeling where we're supposed to be embraced because we're slim and tall and that was okay. But then the color, you're too dark. You don't get the fine jobs. You don't get the TV commercials. We are on set here. We have the dark people here have outshone the fair people. You people are here, just you and the YK that is slightly light-skinned, right? The rest of us here, okay, and then Amaka, the rest of us here are dark. At that time, you hardly see dark people shine like that. We'll go for beauty pageants, and the next morning, the judges are greeting you and asking you, were you there? They are just seeing you. Yes, yes. So the complex was such that it took the grace of God for some of us. A lot of us had to bleach. But some of us just held on to that color. No matter what, I'll stay here. And it took a lot. So we need to be compassionate to people, right? I've made a few mistakes of, you know, hitting at my friend's insecurity in the name of joke. And when they say, I don't like this, I still go back. Till I had a conversation. And she was like, I kept telling you, you were not listening. I was still going with the way we used to play back in the day where it doesn't matter. In fact, it's when they tell you they don't like it that you do it. A few months back, I posted a fine picture. I've always thought that I had the perfect set of teeth and my teeth was white enough. I posted a picture on my social media and somebody went there and said, your teeth is not shining. Please go and do teeth whitening. I asked the question yesterday when we had a guest talking about teeth whitening because then I now started thinking about it. And I went back to look at the pictures. My teeth are not white enough. We think they are words we just speak anyhow. But it hits people differently. We must be compassionate to people and how we say some things. Some opinions are not needed.
Okay, let me come to Nima. Nima, what are your thoughts? Do you think, on the other hand, that it makes you more stronger when people tease you? You know, because in life, you're going to always meet people who are going to laugh at you. So if we make it such an issue, does it weaken us? Or is there a way for us to... Are we supposed to face these teasers so that it makes us stronger in future?
So teasing when it's not enjoyed both ways is bullying. So I experienced a few, but not this way. So for me, this lady wanted to bleach. She had her insecurities because she's in an industry where Funke Akindele is doing well with her dark skin. And they must have called her all sorts of names, but because Funke is who she is, she will give it back, you know. But a lot of them in that industry thought like light skin was what. And then now they mix it at
actually.
Yes, for them. Yeah. So if you had the insecurity, whether or not somebody played or teased you, you want to do what you want to do. So I, for instance, growing up, if you tease me, I'm ever ready to give you back. I remember I was so thin. They say, like, no girlfriend, no get back. And even I would say to myself, no girlfriend, no get back. It'd be like Modella. I will finish it for you just to, never did I think to do something about what people complained about me, except when I wasn't comfortable with it. So if she wasn't comfortable with her skin, she had that insecurity. It's not because she was teased, because we are in the season of trend now. Femi Adebayo and Co are trending. I'm just wondering how Mide Martin will start trending because she said this to her at a movie location. But you were an adult at the time. But listening to, because it was on Biola's page, her one-on-one screen, listening to our entire conversation, this lady had been through a lot of things. So she's in a place where her mental state can be in question, So maybe she had some insecurity she allowed herself. But growing up, the way I was growing up, anything you tell me about myself, thank you very much for saying it, I will enjoy it. Because I used to think, I remember when, even till my wedding, I had no hips, nothing. And my auntie went on and on throughout the wedding day. Hey, Pami, bomb shot. Look at how she looks straight. She doesn't have any shape, And I was enjoying it. I was saying to myself, when the hips start to come now, it will become overload. I don't even want it, And I think I would really love my child, for instance, to have that kind of, a hit. When you throw something at her, she should be able to take it. I don't want, not everybody, but to be a plus.
I like us because there's another part of the conversation on now that we have social media, we're now using it to start reporting everybody, because this happened years ago. So should we all now get on social media and start calling out those who have teased us, who have body shamed us?
I don't have anyone.
That's the conversation now. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regular.
So let me go and look for my jam results. So
my 280 was 320. I suppose don't be one medical.
At this point, I contest my jam results.
I want to close the show.
I can go. I can.
That's all we can take. Ejeki, close the show, you for that long.
Ladies and gentlemen, number one, Unavailable by Davido featuring Musa Keys.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shiny, yeah. So recap done, and it's time for number one on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now, his name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Kick it.
Another.
For dessert and a bit of nightcap, we have the nighttime and online specials.
I want to start the gym, yeah? But do you know one thing that's actually keeping me back? You should start the gym to get fat. Cricket.
She says she does pole dancing to empower women.
What's the difference? There's a difference.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. So pole dancer, you're already almost naked. You're already almost naked.
No, it's the empowerment for me.
Sex can make a relationship better.
No. Sex can never be overrated.
It is needed.
Especially when it's good sex too. Almost every guy has been with somebody's girlfriend. But they're for all of us now.
That's why you're still single.
I would not agree or disagree with that because I don't want to get into trouble. I have a home to go to.
Your next question.
Oh, you ready to fail?
Who is the better? You see some spoils.
That woman.
Bam! Bam!
Yeah, today we'll go here.
Hey.
Let's get talk now.
I'm sure we've been able to satisfy your cravings, yeah? Stay good.
Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome the one who can make time stand still forever, Mr. Kelechi Amadi. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, my brother.
You love that intro, Abi?
Yeah. It was great.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you.
We try like that.
Thank you.
Now my question, which I feel is a cheap question.
Oh, go ahead.
What does ISO stand for?
That is it. I think I'll drink.
No, you're joking.
I'm not joking.
Thanks for staying with us. We have Unica calling from Plato. Good morning, Unica. You're live.
Guinica.
Guinica. Hello, good morning. Are you there? I think I lost that call.
Oh, Guinica.
Like that so we come to you because of these issues of insecurity, because I think many of the issues my parents have today is that our kids are not very resilient anymore. They're so used to this jet age, everything is easy, you know, and any little thing you do to them, they claim their mental health issues. They're not as strong as we are. And this is part of the teasing that we got. That someone probably strengthened us and made us who we are today. So in this age of, I'm calling out all those who are body shamed, do you think it is a way of, do you think it's right for us to start calling out people, or do you think we are further reinforcing how weak we are today emotionally?
You know, what you have just said, the preamble to where you ended about our kids not being resilient. You know, people can argue it differently because for me, what I see is that our kids have refused to be bullied and they recognize bullying quickly. Yeah. We accepted it as it was something that we had to take. And I don't know if it really made us resilient. It just made us to be able to pretend that things did not get to us. But we know that it was getting to us. It was affecting many other things that we did because of that. But our children who hear it immediately, they'll be like, no, don't say that to me. Or do you know this is what she's saying to me? I don't like it. So I don't know if that makes them weaker or actually makes them stronger enough to know from the beginning, from the get-go, that I do not want to be part of this toxicity. And so it now puts responsibility on the person with the words to be careful the next time, the sort of things that they say, because people are no longer accepting it as, you know, trying to be resilient. Now, that's on the one hand. Yeah. The conversation about calling people out. You know, I don't like what they call cancel culture, which is someone makes a mistake. Be careful, I'm saying mistake, and I know what I'm saying. Someone makes a mistake. Someone says something when they were really young with limited maturity and understanding, and many years later, without giving the person an opportunity to maybe apologize or, you know, seek redress, we come online and we call the person out. And what that thing does is that immediately people start bashing that person.
It's called the cancel culture?
Yes, cancel culture, which is delete this person from ever doing anything, their name or their brand, because of things that they have done in the past. Now, you know, the other thing is, does this person that you have abused in the past, does that person really owe you? Does that person really owe you any grace to come and have this conversation? After all, when you did your thing, you left that person to carry the burden throughout the years, and finally, you know, they're able to call. As long as you're doing this calling out or this conversation in a healthy way, in such a way that is really about, you know, building yourself and reconciling, I think that is okay. But if it's just about revenge, and one thing with revenge is that they say that as you dig a hole, be careful how far you dig it, or you dig for two, because you end up falling in it. So the strength really shows that when you've moved on, your strength will really be from letting revenge go and just trying to discuss with the person, see how it has affected me, and not about social media, come and gather or see this person. Now that I have all of you and your attention, let's attack this person.
Yeah. So I like where you started. You know, I don't think our children are weak. I think they are actually stronger than us, because there were a lot of things we took lying down that they will not take sitting down. They will not take it at all. And that also goes to the age of awareness. They are more in tune with their emotions. We have young kids here. I hear you talk about how your son expresses what he's feeling. Before, our feelings, they pass, I'm sad, I am happy. I am angry. I'm hungry. I am angry. They pass that one. But you hear a child say, I was distressed. There was a word my daughter used the other day. He said, hey, I can't remember that word.
My daughter used, I'm traumatized.
My sister.
I say, what traumatized?
You know, they know
I don't know I'm traumatized.
Yes.
What do you know is being traumatized?
They know how to name their feelings. And that's a strength they have. And so when they see the bullying coming, they say, I'm not going to stick around for this disrespect. A lot of us took a lot of disrespect growing up because we had the culture of you don't challenge your elders.
Respect our elders.
Leave respect on one side. Leave respect now. It's not, respect has got nothing to do with what we're saying. What we're saying is we actually did swallow a lot of things that was translated, it's like energy, was translated into other things and how we behave to other people because of what we're collecting. We're not very nice people. All these ones were claiming our generation were trained the best. We're not nice people. We talk down on people. We disrespect people. We laugh with those and greet those we think are above us. Come and see how a lot of us treat the people that we think are beneath us. That's when you know that we're not good people. But you see the difference between our children. They treat everybody the same way. So they are actually stronger than we are in that sense, you know. But also, when my son got into the boarding house, he was big, huge, fat, right? And then his peers started hitting him with that. And he called his father one day and he cried. And he said he was coming home. I said, no, stay there. Stay there. So when he finally came home that weekend, I sat him down. I said, we shield you to the best of our ability because this is a home of love. But the outside world will not shield you. So you need to toughen up and always have words handy as well. So that when they are calling you fat, look for something in that person's body to give to the person. Not, yes, before. That was how we survived. Not before you survived. As you are giving me, give back. So that you can ward off the bullies. Do not be the first to look down on somebody and call them bad. But you cannot come and be crying. You are bigger than everybody in your class. They will say, this big boy. You will look funny. Because they will not reason your age. When you are judging the matter with the house parents and the teachers, they don't reason your age. They reason your size. So the person who has insulted you is this high, and you are this high, and you're the one crying. He now understood it. I said, find words. I've always been saying report to the teacher. But at some point, it seems like the teachers are not doing anything. So find words to give them back, to protect yourself so that they will back off. And I did it in secondary school, and it works for me. When I started giving back, before you insult Obiajulu, you will think twice because you collect twice as hard.
But you used to chase you down to beat you.
But when we stand up from the fight, you will be looking for who beat each other because I would have designed you. And so everybody stayed off. Yes, everybody stayed off. I'm just telling you how to survive. I did not tell my child to fight. If he beats somebody, the person will faint. He's very big, right? But then it got to him so bad, he was weeping till he found a way. So when it's between peers, as we're raising children, there's no word Nima will give to me now that I will start crying when I get home. I will give her back because we're peers. But there are other people that you may not be able to respond to. And that's why we're saying you must be empathetic and compassionate in every word you speak to people because you don't know where it's going to hit them. Every word you speak.
There's a culture that I'm from, and it's a Yabis things. Yabis things is not
our culture.
It's my culture. Yep. We call it every female polo. That's what a couple say. When you throw jabs at me, I'll be like, they throw me polo. Okay. Me too. I'm ever ready. Because I'm always assuming you are doing it from a place of love. I don't. If you are older than me, you throw me, I will throw you back. Yes. Yes.
Disrespect,
in fact, they used to gather me and say, this pikin no get respect. Because I grew up seeing my father and his peers throw those yabis at themselves. And when my aunties come and throw their own, you throw back. Ready, I throw back. Are you talking to me? I thought you were playing with me. Because I assume you are playing with me. I assume, because of where I am from, my exposure, that you cannot just look at me, hate me, and want to bring me down. If you throw it, I'm throwing it back. I remember when I resumed here and a colleague looked at me and wanted to make my face and said, you have a round face. I was like, made for me. Yes, it's spectacular. You know, because I didn't know. It was later on I saw how she would do to other people and thought, oh, this was how she meant. But my first reaction was, she was just, stating the obvious.
I have to balance this conversation.
So,
please balance
more.
Cannot be happy.
No, just me and her. She is the good one.
Wait now. I'm a good one. I'm dealing with my daughter now. She's not where I am. The other day she called me from school and said, because she had always talked about this round face thing. And every time my face, I said, your face is, you are the most unique, most beautiful individual I've seen. Nobody's like you. This is your beauty. So she went to school now where she's not with her parents, and someone looked at her and said, you're not as beautiful as your mommy said. Because she was saying, my mom always says I'm beautiful. Said, you're not beautiful. So you're only beautiful to your mom.
Yes.
And I said, tell her right back that she's as ugly as her heart.
But you know this.
Quick. Call back and say, and it was a senior, say, quick, don't they waste time. You need to dish it as they are dishing
so
it.
They stop.
The short top will be for ever. So. The next time you go back and think about it, you brought over it before you dash it out.
Yes, so
they will think, oh, they've gotten you. Once they are throwing it like this, ever ready, just throw it back.
Let me go on a break. This cannot be the only way. Let us
go.
There's got to be another way. Stay with
Another way.
Another way.
There's only this way.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
I am so sorry I'm late. I'm currently stuck in traffic. So sorry.
Hi, we're about to start the show. Woo! Hey, yeah. See, we're getting ready. We're gonna start first.
The show starts in 3, 2, and
We're here again on your screens this beautiful morning doing what we do best.
Welcome to the sacred month of Ramadan, a time of reflection, renewal, and spiritual growth. Throughout this show, we will delve into the essence of Ramadan, exploring its traditions, significance, and the profound impact it has on millions around the world. Welcome to Iftar with Nima.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still discussing body shaming and we're moving into bullying, teasing. These are memories that many of us have. I've actually had all our lives, and today it affects the adults we have become. From the story we're talking about, the celebrity said she had to go to skin based on what somebody had mentioned to her years. So BC and Nima had said that, listen, the best way is to, once these teasers come, when these bullies come, you give it to them immediately. Yeah. But I'm saying, okay, maybe there are other ways, because I didn't have that background. I mean, I went to Corona Primary and Corona Secondary School. This kind of things, you can't even, when you say the crane master is ready to spank you, report your, there's so many processes. So I never had that back and forth. I never really engaged in the back and forth. But the truth is that people's words affected me. As I speak to you, those words are ingrained in my subconscious, and it affects how I see things, how I see life. So I'm learning from you that maybe if I had given the strength to fight back when those words were told to me, I won't be where I am today. So, and our children are almost having the same background that I had back then, where you can't really fight back because there are systems in place to stop you from fighting back.
And listening to them speak, it's just making me realize that if they were given tools to protect themselves, what tools were we given to protect ourselves, apart from report to the teacher, the teacher that may not always be there? What were the tools that I could have appreciated as a child on the playground when one person said one thing to me that was enough, because we recognize our dignity also at that age, where I'm not a running to teacher to report. I can stand and defend myself. I feel that somehow in that our upbringing, they did us a disservice. Because I was not encouraged to talk back at people until tomorrow. Like when I'm in a confrontation with someone, I'm so careful not to say mean words to the other person because I know how it feels for me. So because it feels bad for me, why would I want to do it to you even when you're doing it to me? But I think with growing up and with maturity, what I've learned is your words, if they're not true, they don't affect me, But I think it's important to also be able to have good words, positive words that I can use to push you away or to protect myself. Oh, look at you, you're too tall. Like you said, yes, tall enough, because that's how God made me. I'm beautifully made tall, Someone said to me once, you're so tall, only men are tall. You never have a tall man to marry.
Oh,
You'll be
no,
the tall one, the
still
man will
that
be
one.
short, so everyone would laugh at you. And even though I remember, I think I said some things to her, but I remember feeling so bad at that exchange. Like, why did I allow myself to, to be like her? And it bothered me. So for me, what gives me peace is knowing who I am. So I will tell my children that know who you are. But also I think it's nice to once in a while. So every time they attack you, don't say anything. But once in a while, say something that they realize, I may be quiet, but I'm not stupid. I may take your abuse. I may hear your abuse, but I will not take it from you, So once in a while, our children need to understand, first, self-esteem, work on their self-esteem, their confidence, understand that they are beautiful and they're strong and they're perfect the way they are. They are meant to be just that. Anyone that tells them otherwise is just a reflection of yourself. I can see why you would say such ugly words.
I love what she said earlier when she said that have words. I think
Ready.
that's amazing. Have words ready, good or bad. Just have them in your kitty. Equip yourself with words. Either you choose what kind of words, because if I tell my child that, well, you know the words to use. Anytime people come at you, my husband always tries to when he's in a good mood, he calls me all sorts of names, tries to celebrate me, tries to tell me, oh, you're beautiful, and I'm thinking, there's somewhere in my head I think, yeah, you're just lying. Yeah, like there's something in me that just says, I don't believe that
disbelieves him.
It's just there. No matter how many times you say it or tries to encourage me, there's a wall that it bounces off. It has never gotten in it stems from that insecurity of what was said to me as a child and it became the software.
You accepted without protecting yourself. So
exactly. So
just for a child. How does a child protect themselves?
No, I understand. I'm saying, but at this point, so it went into you and it germinated.
Yes, and it became a software.
That
I must deliberately find a way to eject it. But whatever is,
you have to do work on that.
So it's important as a parent to any child to be their bouncer till they are able to stand on their own. So when I say it like I was born bouncing off, no, that's not true. I remember I had low hair. I had the shortest hair among my sisters. My two elder sisters had their hair all the way to their waist as babies.
Yeah, that told you.
And I had low hair. If you try to plait it, everything will just have pops. I'll have ball all over my head. So they had to keep me on low cut throughout. And so they would just call me a boy. So my father started buying me boy clothes and we'll go to the stadium together. So I started having me and daddy's time all the time. And it was okay for me. But growing up, if my father just hears somebody say, yes, he resembles boy. You say, no. You put me in front of the mirror, look into the mirror, admire yourself. You say, do it like this. Yeah, do shakara. So over time, I started defending, building that. What you just tell me, I said, wait, I saw mirror this morning. You're talking about yourself. Because somebody was there, hyping, reinforcing that you are too much, you are too beautiful, you are too smart, you are too everything. I heard it from the most important person. So I'm trying to do that with my kids. No matter what, because the world out there, as BC said, is a very tough world. Nobody sends you in the world. So when you come home is your safe place. As a parent, you must be conscious that the world might want to test it off your kids. You must reinforce in them that confidence that you are who you are. I remember trying to buy diploma form for law because I'd done JAM and we didn't get the cutoff. So we went to get a diploma form and my neighbor advised my dad, said, why are you wasting money on him? I was like, am I a waste of money?
My own girl.
So I came home, my father was like, oh, because you're not a waste of money, that's why I'm buying the form anyway. That's, because he knew I will be thinking about it. He said, no, you're not a waste of money, so I'll buy you the form. And so you need to continuously reinforce your child to the point they get there. And he had to be telling me, we're from Esako. Yabis is normal. When people yab you, they don't really you.
Yes. So I was listening to a psychologist one time, and he said something that I resonated with, right? He said to be meek, to be powerless, to be very soft and accepting of everything is just a show of naivety, that there is no strength in that. Now, to be dangerous, to be strong, to be able to ward off, to be able to fight, and then choose not to use it is what makes you a powerful person. And that's also what makes you a humble person. So it's not that I don't want to raise children that don't have capacity to do back. I would have failed them. Because if I am not there tomorrow, another person can come and show them shege of the world. The world has shege, anyhow we look at it. In the workplace, in the schools, in the businesses at home, external family, extended family members. The world will show you its teeth. I want to raise children that have the capacity to show back. You show lion teeth, ha, in rowing, then we now know who to step down. And give them that choice so that they can choose to do good. So the emphasis is on you have the ability to give them back what they are giving to you, but you can choose to go the other way. And also sometimes you show them that if you come for me, you will collect double. And that's where you protect yourself. You are stronger than the person who just allows it and takes it in, because it will come. They say words are like an egg. Once it's broken, you can never pack it back. It's broken. That's it. And it will permeate in different ways. It may stay. There's a testimony I always give when I'm coaching people where, you know, after secondary school, I joined this office, and then they were teaching us how to go and market to people and all of that. And what they gave me was to market something in education. That's somebody that just finished secondary school, because I could talk. To market something in education. And I'll go and meet principals of schools, elderly men. And they'll be looking at me talking. When I finish, they say, oh, what do you know? What's your certification? No, I beg all these people. So I could not sell. And then I came back to the office to meet my Oga. And my Oga looked at me and said, you see, you cannot sell anything. Guess when I broke out of that? It was like an innocent statement, right? But he followed me till I finished school. I got married. I graduated. He was following me till I did my coaching course. We broke it in Larry Olusho last class when we were doing NLP. And to test that I had broken it, I did my Nurturing the Nurturer program, and I sold out the hall. See how long it took me. Some people never get an opportunity to break out of that. Because you are the one that said it now, you will forget. If I tell my parents some of the things they said to me that still haunts me till today, they will say, no, when did I say that? Yeah. I'm the one that received it. I know how it's following me. So teach your children to be able to bounce off and give back, resist and give back, so that people would avoid when you're coming to me.
Keep giving back. They're also breaking that person. That other person.
No, the person that is giving you.
You are not breaking anybody that did not break. It's the person that is attempting to break.
To solve a problem.
Now, retaliation with the top.
Yes, thank you.
The person who gave, he also might be naive, because he's also coming from somewhere. So if you give
but
back, they're further damaging that person.
No, see, the difference is when you are giving to somebody unprovoked, you have a problem. It's not my body I'm going to heal you. I'm not your doctor. So I give you back, so that next time when you want to give another person, you slow down. This person has the capacity to give me back. Let me move. All these bullies, they have a problem that I am not there to solve for them. Don't bring your problem to me to solve for you. So if you are coming for me, know that I'm not your best target. Go somewhere else.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to say.
I see it differently, like I said before, that it's, and you know, you sort of said that part, which is empower your child to the point where they understand that this does not mean anything to me, and I'm choosing not to be like you. So I like that part. And I don't want the tool to be like them. Show them that you can even be worse than they are. Because what happens is that it stays in you, that behavior, and before you know it, you even do it to people who do not deserve it. And even those you think are deserving, if you were to sit down and have a conversation with them, they may not be deserving. They may be cry for help or something like that. I just don't want me or my children to be like them in order to protect themselves. I want them to understand the sticks and stones may break my bones, but words may never, hurt me. That is what I want my child to do. I want my child to hear those words and know that it has nothing to do with me, or more to do with you that's saying it. So I understand that the work that I need to do now is from me. The constant reassurance, the constant validation, I have to do that. I will not expect it from anyone outside. I just don't want to create a monster in order to deal with a monster.
Sorry, Miriam.
I'm not saying that that's what you're doing. I'm just saying that that's my fear.
So this from experience, this is one that pains. If you have somebody, and I feel that you were bullying me, and I never replied you, I will never be myself again.
But see, you might be feeling wrongly. You might have thought, taking that biabi as a wrong.
Yes, that's a possibility. So if it was a wrong intention, if you do it to me, I do it back. We are playing.
Yes,
You understand?
like them.
So both of us are enjoying yabis. No, yabis is a part of a culture where I'm from. It is not intended to bully. No, it's not intended to bully. It's not intended to bully.
Except by malicious people.
No. Except somebody is being malicious. Yeah. It is a culture of play and jokes where I'm from. I've said that. So if a person does it to me and it is not a joke, and I go home, and I did not do anything.
You will not be okay.
It's like two people fight now. We reach out, want to talk, and you have already slapped me. Then I say we should end up at talking like honest.
And I've not slapped back.
These two people. Nah. Then I said I have not slapped my own back.
You will not be okay.
That sorry did not reach my mind, even if they say it. You see, it says somewhere, I'm putting it aside. Because if as me when you slap my own back, then I say two of us should settle.
Then it's equal. Yeah. So let me add something small to
before you go. What if the person slaps you and then they come to talk and then punish the person for slapping you?
That would be good.
Yes, that's justice.
I say sorry. So you should all make up.
That's justice now.
It's not rich mind.
So let me add a little to
eye for eye.
Miriam has said. So whether we believe it or not, we are both good and evil. Everybody has the capacity to do good and do evil. However, you would want as much as possible to raise your children in a way that the good outshines the evil, right? Yes. But the capacity is there. So if some people choose to use their own, and you want to use your own for a bit to keep them in their place. You see, these things have long-term effects where you're constantly allowing it because you want to be good, right? And not every child is equipped with, I tell my children all the time that they are beautiful. My first daughter got to an age when she believed she was not fine. There was nothing I could do about it. It was her teenage years. They had their mood swing, gay pairs, their mood swing back to back. She would look herself in the mirror and just... And this is a girl that I've been calling a queen since the time she was a baby. At some point in life, no matter what your parents have done to protect you, those things will fall off. It will come back later, right? But it will fall off. And at that time that it falls off, how do you protect yourself?
What do you take?
We can bring out the little evil, small of the evil, sprinkle it, so that other people don't come.
But you know one thing with a child is how will she measure it?
Leave the measurement. Let me finish what I'm saying. Leave the measurement first. When you now get to that point where you're more mature, you understand. That's why they say train up a child in the way he should go, and when he grows, he will never depart. He finds his way back to that goodness. But the time that he needs to be the monster, let him show his peers a little so that they leave him alone.
Okay, let me tell you, there are stories of people who will tell you that they used to be bullied and then they were taught to bully back and became such big bullies. They did not realize when it took over them.
They
were children.
They will
recover, but you have done the damage now.
My husband
then tomorrow
is a perfect example.
Then tomorrow we'll be sitting and discussing you because you were...
My brother said that, I think I've said this story before. Somebody beat him in this class.
Yeah.
And they called his parents. Yeah. Then his father got to school and said, "This is the boy that beat you."
This time.
Don't just kept quiet. When he got home, he said, "How can that small boy beat you? You know how tall you are?" And he had that conversation. And you have to beat back. He said that statement, well, it affected him emotionally. That till he finished university, he was
beating everybody.
And that was in primary school or something.
Yeah.
That he was beating people. He was known as the boy that was always beating everybody.
Right.
So that thing has a way of affecting.
But aside from that,
recovered.
Aside from that, what other training did he get at home? That was his foundation. So a one-off instruction is for when you need to fight. You cannot come. No, listen.
Right. That as a child.
Last month, I think January, my son was playing with two brothers, a senior boy and a younger boy of his age. The senior boy looks at him and says, "You call my sister Lagos City girl," slaps him. Why? Younger brother said, "What did he say?" Slaps him again. Because of my son's nature, he just went to sit somewhere, and I kept looking at him through the cameras. I couldn't find him. So I saw that he was covered somewhere. What do you think I would do?
Tell us, what did you do?
Please give us gist.
Tell us the imagine. Tell us the TV or tell us the...
But no, now, I'm raising a first son, head of family.
He has to be strong.
Head of family. He must always be ready.
Yes, so.
I did what I needed.
I agree with you.
So let's just go on a break. I have to wrap up with you.
She did what she did.
I think these conversations have merged into bullying because we started off
body shaming.
But it's part of it. It's part of the whole thing. You know, I think it moves on into parenting, into the world of parenting, how to equip our children so that they don't face, no, so they'll face bullies, but to know how to resist bullies. So it doesn't affect them, because all of us are products of these things.
Yeah.
As I said, I have my own story, my husband has his own, we all have our insecurities as a result of something we're not able to ward off as children.
Yeah.
So we just have to keep learning and find ways, relearn, unlearn, and see how we can best equip our children so that they don't end up bleaching their skin like this actress had to do because of somebody's insecurity. I mean, that's what happened. She didn't have insecurity.
She was in the industry. It was the thing.
That's all we can take on this segment. I hope we learned a few things. Let me come back. We bring in our special guest for today, Women We Love. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right.
This is 7 of 7. My name is OJ, and signing a sobriety into my hands tonight on this social experiment called the 7 of 7 is Owen G. What is the name, or what was the name?
You see, I want to make them better now.
Rockheart. No, of the goat. When they brought it on stage.
The name of that goat?
Yeah.
We should go there.
No, that one easy now.
I'm just drinking this so that I can ask him my own questions. It's not because of
Buga.
He didn't get it. You know, you know. Okay. Mention 10 female stand-up comedians in Nigeria. See, just mention their stage name. If you annoy me, you will mention their real names and the year they started. And if you annoy me further, you mention the names of their husbands and the names of their children. Try me now. Okay, mention their name.
No, let's just.
No, wait. No, don't. No. Name, real name, stage name, husband name, children name. 10 of them.
Even the 10. That's a lot.
Eh?
That's a lot.
Did I cut your question for you?
Yes.
When you were happy now. With your hunchback.
That was it.
You are wasting time. We don't have time. See, my brother, before we go on a commercial break, you are stubborn. And I told you since. The fact that you play this your hair does not mean. You understand? See this bad hair you are looking at. It's experience. I've suffered before you.
But I try now.
When you there during the military era of Abacha and Babangida, you know what happened?
I be Gen Z.
So that Gen Z,
I call for
I will remove 4 out of 10.
That's like
4 out of 10 they passes. Don't drink this thing. Where baby you are on here. Drink out. If I land you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have Made Kuti in the view. It's still 7 of 7, and we've been doing a whole lot of protesting. The only thing that remains is just to carry placard.
It's about 5 of 7, to be honest, because ask your question. I have so much to speak about once we finish.
We will not give you the time because it's 7 of 7.
I will make the time now. He said he will not ask questions about science.
No,
neuroplasticity.
And based on
he asked a question that was subjective about high life, and he did not finalize his answer about a Kuti question where there are only 3 of us.
Editor, scratch this part out.
That could have possibly composed the music.
Editor, scratch this part out.
Stupidity is an act of ignorance.
Hey God, Made.
Was composed by which Kuti?
Femi Kuti.
Is that your final answer?
God, I'm Seun Kuti. No, wait, Femi Kuti.
You said
Femi Kuti. Wait.
You can't be allowed.
No, you've not asked me anything.
Everyone.
You've not asked me anything. So my final answer.
No. All I have to say is this show is really about drinking.
Yeah, that's the whole idea.
The questions don't matter.
That's the whole
Justice
idea.
is out the window.
We throw caution to
we
the
have
wind
no
right
morals here.
On the 7 of 7.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still celebrating International Women's Month, and today, our guest, she's a former governorship aspirant APC in Edo State, a healthcare professional, and decades of global experience and international honors. She is trusted to possess the network and competence that involves training and retraining of fresh graduates on job development skills, assertive training, communication skills, skills for leadership, and team management. Welcome with us, Victoria Amu. Welcome to the show. Welcome. So good to have you.
Hello, everybody.
Love your energy. You came in like so graceful.
Regal.
Yes. Good to have you on the show.
Thank you so much.
So tell us, I mean, as I said, we celebrate International Women's Month, and every day when we see women who are doing great things, we just call them just on the show to inspire young people. So let's start off with your background, where you were raised, and the schools you attended before you moved into your career.
I was born in Lagos, as usual, so I know a lot of Lagos. I grew up Lagos and Benin. I went to Our Lady of Apostles. I went to Mount Carmel Primary School in Butemeta. I lived in the Butemeta region because my father used to be a police commissioner, and my mother worked in the railway, so we lived around the Butemeta region. Then after some time, I sojourned into the US. So that's when I had my first degree as an occupational therapist. And I'm doing my doctorate right now. I'm not done with it, but I have lived my whole life as an occupational therapist because it gives me joy and it gives me pleasure. As an occupational therapist, I go into describing my life because that's what I do and that's how I've lived. As an occupational therapist, you work with persons who have physical disabilities. That's somebody who has a cerebrovascular accident, stroke, your stroke. Young adults, older adults. You work in physical disabilities. You work with persons who have stroke, who have traumatic brain injury. When we work in pediatrics, we work with children who have Down syndrome, children who have polio, who have mental retardation. The ones Nigerians call imbecile. They're actually not imbecile because there is strength in everything that they do. You need to look at the person beyond their disability and fish out the strength in them and use that. And the core thing in OT is that individuals are lined up to know. You must know your strengths and you must know your weaknesses. You must use your strength to build up your weakness to a state where it's functional. It doesn't become depressive. And then when we work with persons with psychosocial, there are a lot of people that we live with today that are schizophrenics. You know? They don't know. Undiagnosed, yes. There are a lot of people we live today with that have bipolar. They have extreme highs, they have extreme lows. You know? But in Nigeria concept, nobody is tagged a psychiatric patient until they start to tear off their clothing. You know? That's the difference between a developed country and an underdeveloped country. In a developed country, your family members take you into the psych center and say, this person needs to be on tablets. Maybe when they're on pills. And it's not something derogatory. No. It's something that will help you have more years. You will not have suicidal tendencies. So, and then when you have these children who are imbeciles, in Nigeria, even the affluent, the elites, when they have children who are they call imbecile. I don't call them imbecile, I call them physically challenged. They relegate them to the back. They hide them. Yes, they hide them. You know, and most times these children don't live as long as their siblings. Somewhere along the line, either the child commits suicide or they give the child something that the child ingests and becomes sick. And you know, but the thing is that they are not paraded. Like you say, oh, meet my daughter, meet my son. Those children are not paraded. But those children have a lot of strength in them that if you took the time to get to know them and pull out the strength in them, you'll be able to. And then we work with persons with fractures, persons with roadside accidents, you know, women who are pregnant and going to antenatal and are depressed. You have had women who give birth to children, and after giving birth to the children, they say, don't bring the child near me. I don't want to post-stress disorder. And then you have young girls who have been raped. You know, you have regions where you have children who are married out at 10 years, 12 years old, and they do not have the ability to carry children, and they come down with VVS, their bladder starts leaking. So you have all of those things. So those are my sweet areas that I work. So it helps me interwove into different areas and different aspects of myself.
So you have given a totally new definition to occupational therapy for me, because we used to just think it's those people that work with companies on any occupational hazard that might have happened until as you broke it down now. So how receptive are we in Nigeria to your profession? How is it as lucrative here as it is where you studied?
I came back to Nigeria for the first time 2005. I came back with my young children. They were very young, and I didn't want to stay with them in the US because, the developed country do not have the kind of social support that we have here. Here, you have your aunties, your sisters, somebody will come and live with you. You can go to work, you can come back, your children are still safe. Those days, not now, So your children are still safe. But there, you must routine your work to the timing of your children. So for me, when I came back 2005, I came back and I just graduated 2000 as an occupational therapist. And my professor had said, what do you want to be? I said, I want to go and set up occupational therapy in my country. Yes, I want to be the head of department. I want to take occupational therapy. And here I was a fresh graduate,
With all the dreams.
With all the dreams, yes. He said, your dream must be bigger than your situation. You cannot, you cannot. I was a student. I could have said, I'm going for youth service. I'm going for this. Said, but you must put your dream higher than. So I came back to Nigeria, brought my 2 children with me, and then walked into University of Benin Teaching Hospital. And said, hey, I'm an occupational therapist, I can get you internal generated funds. There are a lot of children with disabilities. You see, I talk a lot.
I'm enjoying it.
And then the MD said, okay, I'll hire you. What do you want? I said, I want you to give me this. Yes, because I negotiate what I want. Yes, I want you to give me housing. I want you to give me car. Really? Oh, you're asking a lot, madam. We really don't do this. I said, I'm new in this society. So I came back. When I came back in 2005, there were only 2 occupational therapists who at least have a bachelor's degree. You had hospitals, training assistants. And that's where I get upset with doctors. You never see them in hospital training assistant doctor. Have you ever seen it?
No, never.
No. But they will take all the other professions and be training assistants. So when I came in, you had this bunch of assistants working in psychiatric centers because these psych doctors go outside Nigeria. Outside doctors are very proficient. They go outside Nigeria, they get scholarship. They get funding, they get grants. So, and the grants in psychiatric hospital, you must have an occupational therapist. But what is more in Nigeria is your physiotherapist.
That's the one we know.
That's what you know. Yes, that's what you know. And the physiotherapists now do occupational therapy job. Make it impossible for occupational therapists to get hired. So when I came in, UBTH hired me. I started working in UBTH, started reshuffling things because there were 2. One was a 79-year-old woman who retired from the army, and she's in Obafemi Awolowo University. So she was the only one training. And because she was the only one with the qualification, she could only take 5 students per semester. Yes. So they said, come and go to Obafemi Awolowo. I said, you guys are not going to pay me. So don't let me go and teach. Let me stay here. Those ones you teach, I can have them for industrial training, attachments, yes. I'll be able to give them perfect hands-on training and help them. So I was the only occupational therapist that came. So I domiciled in UBTA. And then you had all these people who were assistants. And when you come to clinic, they are struggling, which is good because the Nigerian professional, who is a professional, really surges hard to demonstrate their skill, surging. And I said, oh boy, you're an assistant. I won't work with you very well. Go out and go and get a BSc. Madam, what do you mean? We know what you know. I said, you can't know what I know. You don't have the body of knowledge that I have. And what happened? A whole bunch of them went out. They went to India, We had a partnership with a university in India. They went to India. India gave them a BSc, and they came back. Oh my God. And
it was different.
It was different. And then I became the president of the Occupational Therapy Association.
Just like you dreamt.
I did. And then I surged into all of the teaching hospitals.
Okay.
So a lot of the teaching hospitals today have a small unit that is, we're still struggling because physiotherapists get patients to convince patients that there's no use for OT. And there's OT. What do we do as OT?
Let me ask you, with everything you're doing, this occupational therapy, you were saying it with so much joy. I could feel that this is a passion of yours and you're really doing well. Yes. Why did you now decide to venture into politics? How were you able to, thinking you would be able to cope with the rigors of politics, and then this one? Were you at some point considering letting go of the occupational therapy if you had emerged?
No, I hadn't. Remember, I told you I was at UBTH. I had to leave UBTH to go and work in a state hospital. Okay. And everybody thought I was crazy. So how do you leave UBTH? UBTH is a federal... Yes, they have more money. I said for me, going to a state hospital will help my profession get the indigenes of my state benefit from
your expertise.
My expertise. So I went into the state hospital, and the state hospital was at that time my cousin was the permanent secretary, gave me a soft landing because that's what Nigeria is all about. Made sure I could get my department and get it going. But what am I going to tell you? I missed all of that. I still find my people, even in the hospital, most people can't pay for healthcare. There's no insurance. When you go abroad, there is healthcare insurance that takes care of it. So when the person becomes sick in Nigeria, the person can't pay for healthcare. They go home, somebody sees them, somebody does not see them. Their situation becomes worse than they started from. So going into politics for me was to be able to reach my people. The goal is always to reach my people. The goal is always to better my people's life. What policies do government have on healthcare? You see women going to the hospital and they die at childbirth. Should any woman die at childbirth in this 21st century? No. Do you have doctors in the local government, in the hospital, in primary health cares? No, you have doctors once a week. In some states that are good. Or you have doctors once in 2 weeks. So, and then, do the generality of my people need health insurance to be able to assess? If you go to your neighbor and she say, oh, I'm sick, or I'm having this, have you gone to the hospital? What will be the first answer?
I have money.
Yes, sir.
No, I went to the chemist.
I went to the chemist, yeah.
So why would people not see a hospital as a first point of call?
Just of time, let me get a few more questions for you.
So, I just wondered if you could elaborate on your political journey.
Okay.
You got all the way to being a governorship aspirant. Is that where you started off from, or had you started at the more local level?
Yes, I started when I came in and I was working in UBTH. Comrade Governor Adam Soshomole was coming in as a governor. So I liked his policies. And he was a people person. Anywhere you see him gravitate to, everybody is running towards him. Everybody wants to be part of him and share in what he has to say. So I started playing politics. I started moving around with them. And when he became governor, he made me his senior special assistant. I was senior special assistant on social mobilization. What did I do? I made sure all government projects were trickled down to the local government, to the grassroots. If the governor is doing roads, I say these roads have been done. If the governor is employing people and putting healthcare professionals, I'll say this is this. If the fire unit and security is an issue, I'll say this is government this. So I started as a senior special assistant to the comrade governor. Yes, the governor of Edo State. And I was there for 8 years with the comrade governor. Wow. After that, I came into Governor Obaseki for 1 year. And I did not love what I did. My experience was different with Comrade Adam Soshomole and Governor Obaseki. So I decided to resign. I went back to my work. Then I stopped to contest for House of Assembly. Okay. I didn't get it, But I came out with a lot of lessons, because in anything you do, however positive or negative. You must come out with lessons that will build you.
Yeah.
You must come out with lessons that will soar you higher than where you are.
Family in a second. I know you wanted to finish up the story.
Yes, I want to finish up how I went to the governor. So I sat down one day, I said, we must have a female governor. Is it not right?
It
Yes,
is.
we have
You
to.
make a good female governor.
We must have a female governor. Nigeria must come to a point where there is this twinning thing. If you have a governor, you must have a female as a deputy governor. If you don't have a female as a deputy governor, your SSG, your secretary to government, or your chief of staff must be female. You must put women in key positions, and they cannot be strangers in politics, because that's what we are seeing now. When you clamor, when I come on television now, I say women, women, women. When they want to put women, it is their sister they will put there. It is one of those women in their harems that they will put there. Do you understand?
Yes,
me?
ma'am.
But what does that do? That weakens the link, the women's link, the movement of women in places. Because if you were 5 men like this, one woman will be struggling to be in their midst.
Struggling to be heard.
Struggling to be part of them.
First of all,
one woman will be struggling to be part of them. And then when that woman struggles to be part of them, she has fenced everybody out. So for me, going in for governorship was to correct things like that. Yeah. There must be more women inclusion in politics, because a lot of women, why do we have so much women in the banking industry? Why do we have them in the judiciary? Why do we have women in the nursing profession? Why not men? Why do we have women in the medical profession? Why not all men?
Let's talk about family for a second. Because of time, we don't have all day.
Next time, you should call me back.
You've already talked to your fans already. So let's talk about family, your husband, your children.
Yes.
How supportive have they been throughout your job and career, and how are things on today?
It's been awesome. It's been awesome.
Sure, you are glowing.
Yes, I'm glowing. I used to be a single mother. Don't forget that. Yeah. I just remarried in the last 2 years.
Oh, wow! We see why the great.
This is honeymoon glow.
We like mature love.
So it's been very supportive. Okay. My kids have seen me grow. Yeah. From the days of politics when I stay late night. And I used to leave them at home. And one of my political leaders, a woman, Senator Oku, she's dead now. She said, Victoria, if you're going for political meeting, take your children with you. Don't keep them home, because they will not know what you are doing. And it's very important for your children to know what you are doing. So I go and won this political meeting. I took my children, my girls, my last 2 girls. I took them with me, and they got there. They saw people shouting, "What's wrong with you? You are this, you are that." The next time I go for a meeting, I say, "Come, let's go to a meeting." Say, that place where they shout. But you know what that meant? That means that somebody comes to my kids to tell them, your mother is always late night, so she must be going somewhere, or she must be doing. They say, you really don't know my mother.
Yeah.
Yes, you really don't know. She's in a meeting, and that's where she is. So my kids have been supportive. They've been there, because for us to soar high as women, the wings with which we fly, and we should fly, is the men that...
Auntie Victoria, calm down. You're married 2 years ago.
Yes. Tell us about nails.
She's really glowing. I don't understand. This old love, this mature love.
Yeah.
How is that about it?
It's nice. Especially when you marry your friend.
Hi. You've known him for years.
Yes. It's nice. You get to understand each other. You get to know
travel.
Travel, have time. I love dancing. So if I'm in town, if I'm not in the US, he takes me to clubs, and I do clubbing.
Oh, wow.
Yes, you guys do dance on this studio, or you don't?
My dances and boosting the dance.
My artist.
Are you You've inspired me. So you have to take up dance. They have different colors.
Yes.
Like just people in this medical field, you people like dancing. So I met this doctor, I'm trying to remember her name, who said, they say you people should move body. You are finding it hard to dance. And because she was addressing, she's Muslim. She wears this small cap, and she was like addressing my hijab that, do you dance? I said, I do. She said, hey, then you should dance every day. I was like that. He said, how hard can it be? That's the exercise your doctors advise. So you people in this medical field, you guys, like you do it all the time.
How do you celebrate your love? Yeah, because we like this kind of stories inspire us.
Yeah,
what
do you guys love
do?
stories.
We remember good moments. Okay. And when we do, we go out to a place and we just hang out. We do a lot of hanging out in places because it's just us. he has his child, he has had his child, I have had my children. So it's just us. About us and about us understanding
You're not changing
each
diapers
other
anymore.
No, we're not changing diapers anymore. So it's about us better understanding each other, better knowing that we must be there for each other because that's what, and then we must trust each other. Because if you can trust, if you can be tolerate and you can be there for each other, I think that's what marriage is all about. It's not a smooth road. You know, there are issues, you know. Sometimes I tell people my husband has gone to, he's a spirit. You know, when you're here now, you're out. But at some point, those things should not matter. Because where you are in his heart, you must still be there. You know.
I love that.
This is sweet too.
A lot of women. Go ahead, Mariam.
Yeah, so I'm listening to you and I'm wondering, what would you say you have learned and carried into this particular marriage? That you feel, if I had not gone through that, maybe this marriage, this thing I have now won't have worked, or because of what I've been through, this marriage is working better. What would you say that?
I've learned to be more patient, although my husband says I'm not patient. I've learned to be more tolerant, you know, more tolerance. I've learned to trust, you know, because sometimes you just see a situation and you make up your own conclusion. And then my husband will say, you asked me, stop concluding. I don't know where you get that conclusion that you think this is what I am doing or this is what I mean to do. So that has helped me. And maybe the fact that because at this point, we just do the things we love.
Yeah.
You know, we've been able to block out peer pressure.
Yeah.
Family pressure.
At this point, how would they affect you even?
No.
But
you know, I'm also a lady who loves wigs. Because I'm coming to this show, I wear different colors. I wear blue.
You can see one red sticking out.
I wear green.
I got you.
I wear blonde.
I got you.
So everybody looks, when I wear it, everybody looks like my husband and say,
oh wow.
They judge you based on how you
so they say, how do you tolerate her? But he understands that's my personality.
Let me ask you this question, because there are lots of women watching TV right now. They love your glow.
Yes.
They're over 50 or maybe over 60, and they're not able to be here. Joy, peace, harmony, and just like I've raised my kids, I'm still loving life. What advice did you give to them? Because how did you get to the point? I don't want to believe that you raised me like this from day one.
No, I wasn't.
It's got to be somewhere where maybe you were depressed and somehow you are now this woman we see. And people want to be like that in 50s and 60s.
Yes. I used to tell my kids, I said, in fact, if I know what I know now, I should have done it. I should have known. I should have been free 25 years ago. You know, because I was a single parent who raised my kids by myself. You know, no support. You know, but in all of those years, it was all of my work. I wasn't as glowing as this. So I wasn't the girl you see and you say, this girl is pretty. No, because I had the drowning of school fees to pay. I had to mentally keep my children stable. You know, to be able to face the world. I have a child that's pretty much heavy. You know, that is a fat girl. This is the chef in the house. She went to culinary school. So I had to, from young, teach her how to be self-confident, how to be assertive, you know. So even when you tell her you're fat, she say thank you. It doesn't matter. And it truly doesn't matter. It doesn't change her mood. It doesn't change. So all of those years, I have struggled with keeping my family, keeping my kids in line, helping them to choose a career. The goal was so that they will feed themselves and I can enjoy myself.
Yeah, and look at it.
Yes. Now,
So what do I tell all these women? Please, find a partner if you can find a partner. The world is not bad, but you can enjoy yourself. Finding a partner does not mean that you are reduced now, unless you want to reduce yourself. Yes. Where you now say, I'm not going out. I wear bomb shorts, girl.
Hey.
I wear sexy clothes.
You go to church at all?
I do. No, I'm a winner. I do.
There
were times I used to go to Shiloh I have not done it in the last 2 years now because I've been half abroad and half here. I used to sleep on the floor. The first time I went to Sheila, I slept on the floor. My children, we got there, I took my children. My children said, Mommy, where's the room we're going to sleep in? I said, there's no room. Mommy, we're going to sleep on the floor. I said, yes. But those days have paid off.
You have earned your blessings.
Yes, I've earned my blessing. It was talking for me. There was one particular year. I told God, say, I'm always in Shiloh. I'm always praying. Morning service, I'm there. Afternoon service, nothing changed. In fact, that year got worse. But when God is ready for you, the main thing is when God is ready for you, He's ready for you.
We are inspired. We are inspired. Thank you very much.
Lovely to
bless you.
Let's
love to bring you back.
Thank you.
Yes.
But we'll take your numbers. We'll be buzzing you.
Yes.
Because we need some energy from you. But thank you so much. It's a pleasure having you. That's all we can take on today's show. I hope you learned a few things as we have, and you are motivated. Those of you, especially in your 50s and 60s, that feel the world is on your shoulders. Listen, life is beautiful. You can enjoy life, make your decisions, adult decisions, and you just be grateful you did. Have a fabulous day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.